Cher. The name alone feels eternal, a sound that echoes through decades of music, fame, and reinvention. From the dazzling costumes and unforgettable voice to the powerful image of a woman who could outshine anyone under the spotlight, Cher has been a symbol of strength, rebellion, and survival. But now, at around 80, when the lights fade and the stage grows quiet, the world is beginning to see another side of her, a life touched by solitude, reflection, and the heavy price of living as a legend for so long. She once said, "I've been up and I've been down, but I've always been able to get back up." And she meant it. From heartbreaks to comebacks, Cher built her legacy not just through talent, but through resilience. Every era knew her name. Every generation had a song that reminded them of her. But even the strongest hearts grow tired, and even the brightest stars dim when the world changes faster than the people in it. Imagine her mornings now, the mansion quiet, the mirrors lined with memories of 1,000 performances. The trophies glimmer under soft light, but they don't speak. The applause is gone, replaced by silence that no encore can break. Friends she once laughed with on tour are no longer here. The industry that once celebrated her every move now chases new faces, new sounds, new moments. And Cher, the woman who once ruled every stage she touched, faces the bittersweet truth of time, that even icons must learn to live in its shadow. But don't mistake that quiet for weakness. Even now, Cher still carries that spark, the one that made her the goddess of pop. She still sings, she still dreams, she still fights. Yet, behind that glamorous smile, there's a certain sadness, the kind that comes from giving everything to the world and realizing that sometimes the world forgets to give back. It's the loneliness of a legend, the ache of someone who's seen everything and everyone come and go, yet continues to stand tall, proud, fierce, but undeniably human. Cher's story at 80 is not just one of fame, but of endurance, a powerful reminder that even those who seem untouchable carry their own heartbreaks, regrets, and memories that weigh heavy in the silence of the spotlight's aftermath. Welcome to the channel. If you want to uncover the real stories behind the legends, the pain behind the perfection, and the humanity behind the fame, hit that subscribe button because today we're diving into the untold emotional reality of Cher's life now. They say time is the greatest equalizer, and for Cher, that truth has come softly, quietly, like a shadow at the edge of a sunset. The woman who once defied every rule in Hollywood, who laughed in the face of age and dared to be bold when others played it safe, now spends her days surrounded by memories instead of microphones. Her house feels more like a museum of moments. Gold records line the walls. Outfits from her legendary tours hang like frozen echoes of another life. And every room tells a story of a woman who gave everything to her art. Yet when night falls, it's not the applause that she hears anymore. It's the stillness, the whisper of time reminding her that even icons can't outdance the years. Fans remember the fierce woman in black leather, the queen with that booming voice. But behind closed doors, Cher faces the same struggles as anyone else. Loss, loneliness, the aching question of, what now? After decades of being adored, she now walks through empty halls where the phone rings less and the camera flashes rarely find her. Fame was once her companion, but fame doesn't keep you warm at night. There's a pain in her smile sometimes, a softness in her eyes that reveals what the world doesn't see. That the cost of being Cher was higher than anyone could imagine. The world watched her lose love more than once. watched her bury friends, and fight to stay strong even when her heart was heavy. The stage was her escape, her therapy, her purpose. But as the curtain slowly closes on that part of her life, she's left to rediscover who she is when the lights aren't on. Still, she doesn't complain. She never has. She keeps her humor, her boldness, her unapologetic way of saying, "I'm still here." And that, maybe, is the most inspiring thing about her story. And yet, even in that quiet, even when the lights are low and the crowds are gone, Cher still refuses to fade away. She wakes up every morning, looks in the mirror, and sees not just the reflection of a superstar, but of a survivor. That voice, though softer now, still carries the strength of a woman who's walked through storms and learned to dance in the rain. She spends her days creating, painting, reflecting, talking to old friends when she can, and sometimes just sitting by the window, watching the ocean she loves so much. The waves seem to speak to her. They rise and fall, crash and calm, just like her life. She knows she's not the young woman the world first fell in love with, but she's okay with that. She's found peace in what once scared her most, being alone. She's learned that true beauty isn't in the costumes or the lights, but in the quiet strength to keep believing when the world has moved on. She's not bitter. She's grateful. She's not broken. She's wise. She's the living proof that even when fame fades, the soul still shines if it was ever real to begin with. And if you've ever felt forgotten, if you've ever wondered if your best days are behind you, take a lesson from Cher, because she's still standing, still strong, and still teaching us that age doesn't take away your power. It simply reveals who you've always been. And as the sun sets on yet another day, Cher walks through her garden, feeling the breeze that carries echoes of songs the world will never forget. She doesn't chase the stage anymore. She lets the memories come to her, gently, like old friends visiting from another time. There's peace in her eyes now, a soft acceptance that her story was never about how long she stayed in the spotlight, but how brightly she shined while she was there. She's still that fearless woman who dared to love out loud, to sing through heartbreak, to grow older in front of a world that fears the mirror. Her voice, her laughter, her legacy, they live on, not in fame, but in the hearts of those she touched. And maybe that's the real meaning of success, not the cheers or the gold records, but knowing you've lived with purpose and courage. So, to everyone watching, take a page from Cher's book. Keep shining, no matter how dim the lights seem. Keep loving, even when love hurts. Keep believing, even when the world stops watching. Because legends aren't made by what they have. They're remembered by how they make people feel. And Cher? She made the world feel everything. If you've been moved by her story, if her strength reminds you that beauty and courage never age, then honor her by hitting that subscribe button and keeping her spirit alive. Because true legends never fade. They simply become part of the song of time. And tonight, as the moonlight spills across her quiet home, Cher sits by the window with a soft smile, humming the same tunes that once filled stadiums with thunderous applause. The world outside may have changed, but inside her heart, the rhythm still beats strong. She doesn't need the crowd anymore to remind her of who she is. She's lived through love and loss, through fame and silence, through moments that would have broken anyone else. But she endured. She rose. She became timeless. There's something beautiful about seeing her like this, not as the superstar draped in glitter and lights, but as the woman behind it all, unfiltered and real. Because beneath the legend is a soul that still dreams, still loves, still believes that the best stories aren't told on stage. They're lived in the quiet, in the resilience, in the way you keep going no matter what. Cher has become more than music, more than movies, more than fashion. She's become a lesson, a living reminder that even when the spotlight fades, the heart still shines. And maybe that's why her story touches so many. It reminds us that time can take away the fame, but it can never take away the fire. So as we close this chapter, let her journey remind you to keep your light burning, no matter how dark life gets. Because if Cher taught us anything, it's that real stars never truly fade. They just learn to glow in the dark. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, honor her legacy, and stay tuned for more stories that celebrate the strength, the struggle, and the spirit of those who've defined generations. And as dawn breaks and a new day begins, Cher rises once more, her spirit unshaken, her fire still alive beneath the calm of her years. She walks past walls filled with memories, photographs, records, and handwritten notes from fans who've loved her through every era. Each one a reminder that even when the world forgets, love remembers. That's what keeps her going, the connection, the gratitude, the unseen thread between her and the millions who found courage in her songs. She knows now that legacy isn't measured in fame, but in hearts touched, in souls inspired, in the quiet tears of people who found strength through her voice. That's the truth of Cher's life today. Not sad, not broken, but beautifully human. She's living proof that growing older isn't the end of the story. It's the wisdom-filled encore that only legends get to sing. And as she closes her eyes and whispers, "I'm still here," somewhere out there, a fan presses play, and her voice fills the room again. Timeless, fearless, forever Cher. So if her story moved you, if her strength reminded you that no age can silence greatness, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a comment to honor this living legend, and share this video with someone who needs a little inspiration today. Because Cher's not just a star, she's a symbol that, no matter how much time passes, true brilliance never dies. It only deepens.